Hey, this is Elliott with a quick little intro. It's going to be quick because I'm sick and we don't have a lot of stuff to plug. So you can check out Alex, our wonderful guest, Alex Hanna, on his podcast, Big Dog Lakers Pod. You can check out Arijana in San Diego, May 4th through the 5th at the Don't Tell shows. I will be doing Parking Sucks in LA on April 29th. Follow us all on social media for all those dates and much more. Follow the podcast, tell your friends, have fun, stay safe. Heck yeah.
Hi, I'm Arijana.
And I'm Elliott.
And this is
Burning the Light,
the podcast where we talk about the wildest, cringiest, and most salacious stories from people's time in comedy. Today, we have a very special guest. He's a stand-up comedian and also a big dog. Let's give it up for Alex Hanna. That only felt right.
That's right.
Oh, man. For the people that don't know, you do call yourself a big dog.
Yeah, it's one of my things on stage. Yeah.
So how did that start? I've always wanted to ask you.
I'm not sure exactly. I think it's just like a colloquial term that kind of other big dogs use. And I feel like I'm on that plane of existence with big dogs, you know?
Okay.
So you got to bring it into the comedy space. You got to say, are other comedians big dogs? Because most of them... little dogs.
Small.
True.
Yeah, small dog, tiny
No
dogs.
offense,
dogs.
Smokey. No
yeah,
offense.
having a bad time. Oh, no.
No, you're a big dog.
You're a big dog.
You're a big dog. It's
You're the
okay.
alpha.
You have big dog heart.
Oh my God, she's
You have
so
big dog
sad.
heart.
Oh, Moki, you can be a big dog.
You have big dog heart.
Yeah, I think big dog energy is like you command the stage. Little dog energy is like you're just awkward around other comedians.
Yeah, big dog energy
definitely.
is you get on stage and you look at the crowd and you're like, I'm going to take you for a walk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're holding the leash, but I'm pulling.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. But that's
I'm pulling.
that's where I flip it, is because I want everybody in the audience to also be a big dog, so they know where I'm coming from,
Yeah.
and they can
That makes
understand the
sense.
Okay.
concepts. Because I'm
Yeah.
coming up with some cerebral stuff on
Yeah.
stage, you know, all of my
Yeah.
dick stuff. And
Well, honestly, no, it is kind of funny watching you on stage because you will like invite them into this moment with you where it does kind of end up feeling like you're in this exclusive Alex Hanna Big Dog Club.
yeah,
And then the people who aren't on board with it's like, you fucking loser.
Yeah.
So,
By the end of the set, they're like,
Yeah.
man, I wish I would have got on board earlier.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
wish it was a big
absolutely.
dog. Because you don't just do it at the start of your set. You end with it
I end with it,
sometimes in the
too.
middle.
yeah. Sometimes in the middle too.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's just a flowing like kind of
Yeah.
callback.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's nice.
I love
Do you
that.
ever forget to do it in the beginning and then remember later in the set and you're like, oof, is
Well,
it too late?
It's kind of in
Yeah.
the last like 3 months that I've been really pulling it out and
Okay.
trying
Yeah.
to get people on board. And
It's so silly.
it came out of necessity because like I do a lot of sets at the Comedy Store and they're all cold opens or usually opening up the show, and they're not a crowd yet. So you have to get them to be a crowd in
Yeah,
one
that's
way
a
or
good point.
another.
That's a hard place to host.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you're not hosting. You're just doing an opening cold
Yeah,
open, and
yeah.
then it goes one comic after the other,
Yeah.
and they all host for each other. But
Dang.
it is one of those things where it's just a collection of people who bought a ticket to a show that they know one person or two people because they're famous. They don't know the rest of the people, and they
Yeah.
certainly don't know me.
Yeah.
So I'm going
Yeah.
to try to get them on board really quick as soon as I can by doing something crazy.
Yeah, and you, I feel like, have to open a little crazy just to get the energy right. So it makes sense that you have a little shtick now.
Yeah, and also I feel like if I'm just talking about like, you know, sex and stuff, they need
A little warmer.
a warmer. Yeah,
You are a sex only comic.
I
That's
am
all
a
you
sex
talk
only
about.
comic. Yeah,
Yeah. You make Dice look like.
Yeah.
like Snake Eyes.
Yeah.
I'll finish it for you. I got
There
you.
you
I got
go.
your
Well,
back.
I was
I'm picking
the
you
only
up.
clean comic I could think of was Cosby, and then I was gonna be like, well, that's
Uh-oh.
not a good
Yeah,
one.
that's not a good one, yeah.
Yeah. What about oh my God, Gaffigan.
Yeah, but he had that
He's got an
scandal
edge.
too.
Oh,
where
he's a little edgy because
Yeah,
he's
he's a
pale.
little- yeah.
Okay.
what? Because he's pale.
Yeah, no kidding.
They say, yeah, look at this fucking
Yeah,
Yeah.
pale guy.
He's
Yeah,
albino dude.
yeah.
Brian
yeah.
Regan.
Yeah, that's who I
Oh,
was
He
Brian
thinking.
parties,
Regan.
though.
Yeah,
Does he really?
Yeah.
he lives
I
in
didn't know
Vegas.
Oh, okay. Things are
Yeah.
making sense.
Yeah, he's a party boy.
Yeah. It's so, man, some comics can really party. I'm not. I'm a good hang, but I don't want to like do drugs and be hungover. That's just not my thing.
Are these drugs gonna make me hungover?
Yeah. No,
Well, you don't
literally.
do
thank
drugs.
you.
Yeah, I'll be like, I'll drink water the whole night, and everyone will think I'm drunk, but I'm just doing
That is true.
tap water. Yeah,
I'm just doing
I'm doing
tap
tap
water.
water. I'm doing a line of tap water. That's the thing.
This is like when you called smoking cigarettes drugs.
Hey, everyone's so mad about this.
Uh-huh.
I did buy a pack. I own a pack of cigarettes.
Oh, that's
now.
great for you.
Not leasing. I own. And it was really intimidating. Luckily, there was a woman working at the counter, so I felt very comfortable. But they didn't have the full range of cigarettes. I really thought I would have my chance to pick. I guess you got to go to a cigarette shop if you want to get the full range.
Yeah, where'd you go?
A 7-Eleven.
Yeah, you can't go to a 7-Eleven for
Yeah.
cigarettes. They have like American Spirits and like maybe a Camel or two.
Oh, man.
Just a loose Camel.
Yeah, loose
and
Camel.
I really wanted slim cigarettes, and they didn't have any.
Yes, you want to get
so-
Virginia Slims.
Yeah.
I wanted Capris initially. Let's be right
You're
about
a
that.
Parliament girl.
Oh, I got
That's what it
Parliaments.
is.
Yeah.
I got Parliaments. Yeah, with the little Coke bump
And then
at the top.
she also texted me, come early if you want to blaze up. And then a cigarette emoji.
Yeah, and then I was practicing holding the cigarettes, and then it was a whole thing. It very much, but you know what though? I do have the stance right. I do the hunched over. I do the one hand under the boobs, and then the other hand smoking. That's the way Eastern
That's
European
a very
women smoke.
or New York.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Bosnia and New York.
Yeah, just a little bit of depression.
But it's like
in
that
there.
stance isn't necessarily for the cigarette. It's just because you've been beaten down by
Yeah.
My life.
by
Yeah,
life,
yeah,
yeah.
that's what it is.
So it's like
I
it's
can
like that
slip
thing where
into it.
all rectangles are a square, but not all squares are whatever the fuck it is.
I never knew.
It's
I
like
never
that.
figured it out.
It's like, yeah, that stance comes with the cigarettes, but it's not because of the cigarettes.
They're not mutually exclusive. But man, wait, do you smoke, Alex? Cigarettes?
No.
Okay, great.
If anybody who I care about is listening to this,
we'll cut it.
I do not.
If you're
Yeah.
his doctor, get off.
Yeah.
Get off.
Yeah.
Yeah, if my insurance company is listening to this, no.
Yeah.
I do not.
Yeah, my family would kill me if I started smoking cigarettes. They'd
'Cause
be
you'd look
so
too cool.
upset. Yeah, I'd look super slick.
They're like, chill
Yeah.
out.
Yeah, they're
Making
no-
us all look bad.
Also, like my sister's allergic to smoke. Like
Oh.
it's the funniest thing, and so I'm like, why don't I just start smoking around her? Like, yeah.
Get out of here.
She's
yeah.
allergic to smoke.
Yeah, like so my pretty much whole family in Bosnia smokes. And when we go back there, she's allergic to like smoke and dust and all the kinds of pollen over there and everything. But like the doctor was like, yeah, you should not sit around cigarette smoke. And they don't get that over there. You know,
Yeah.
they're like, how can you be allergic to cigarettes? You know, like that's impossible. You know, you're Bosnian. Her eyes get so red and she gets so puffy, like it's wild. So she literally can't be in the same room as it. It's so funny.
That's narc behavior.
She's a narc. Yeah,
she's a narc.
she's total narc. Yeah,
Yeah.
gotta love her. Gotta love her.
On a
Middle
cellular
sis.
level, she is a narc.
Yeah,
Yeah.
100%. She is a teacher, so it's all making sense now.
It just sucks because it's like, there's so many bowling alleys you couldn't hang out in. Like
yeah,
that.
it's so many comedy patios.
Yeah, a lot
you
of
know?
comedy patios.
Yeah.
Outside of Jumbo's Clown Room on like a
Yeah.
Friday, Saturday
Jumbo.
night.
Jumbo's Clown
You
Room.
know, where
Yeah, you
it's
can't
popping.
hang out. Yeah, where it's
Yeah.
popping.
The
Yeah.
center of culture.
Yeah, I got hit on by a goth French dude out there who wanted to invite me to a threesome, and his vibes were so bad. He had like Johnny Depp in Right Now vibes, and I was like, no. He was like, do you explore your sexuality? And I was like, no, not right now.
Not right
Not
now.
right now.
Not right now.
I'm busy.
Yeah,
Not
I
right
got
now.
stuff to do.
Did he have a skinny
goth
cigarette?
French man.
He had a cigarette. Yeah,
Do you explore your sexuality?
Oh, that was pretty good.
That was pretty
That was
good.
pretty good.
It was me.
Was he wearing a beret?
No, he was wearing. He was like he had eyeliner, and then he was wearing just like all black.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, it was pretty bad. And I
Probably
got a
Chris
picture of it,
Angel.
and I'm just like cringing
Oh
during the
my
whole interaction.
God. Wait, I love that that's who hit on you. That's so funny. I wish you did explore your sexuality that night.
So does that.
Oh
With
no!
this-
Yeah, so does that dude. Yeah.
God, Frenchman. Oh my God. Wait, how long have you been doing comedy, Alex? I feel like I've
How long
asked
have
you
you been
this
getting hit on
before.
by goth Frenchmen?
Since
Yeah.
the day I was born.
I love that.
Oh.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
started. My doctor,
Really young.
the birthing doctor was a goth Frenchman.
Whoa, oh my gosh.
Whoa.
I've not seen a baby like this before.
This is the first baby I was been sexually attracted to.
Wait, are a lot of goth people attracted to you?
You're gonna say a lot of goth people doctors.
Well, no,
Absolutely, to both.
there's a lot of goth doctors. That'd actually be
A
sick.
gother.
If there was a exclusively, they only hire goths hospital, I would go there 100%.
It's just all black lights.
Yeah, they just don't care, but like they're there to help
Yeah.
because they have to.
It's
They
either
have
black
to.
lights
Oh,
or
yeah, yeah.
candlelight.
My doctor
Yeah.
has like a Nightmare Before Christmas beanie on
Oh yeah.
whenever I
hell
go
yeah.
in.
He has the socks.
Yes,
Yeah,
socks.
yeah.
Striped socks on the arm.
With the finger
Chain
gloves.
wallet,
Yeah.
yeah.
My doctor's actually Big J Okerson.
Uh-huh.
That's my doctor.
That'd be pretty cool.
That'd be great. Yeah, Big
Yeah.
J should be a doctor. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Well, the reason I ask is because like I feel like when you are dressed in all black and you got kind of this like, you know, it's not spiky, but like edgy haircut.
Yeah, I put a Dane Cook grease into my hair so it spikes up like Dane Cook in the early 2000s.
But I'm saying
And it's
it has
long.
this
Your
shape.
hair is
It's
long,
long,
so
yeah,
it's
yeah.
It really
really
spikes up.
It's really spiked.
Yeah, but I mean, I could see you like you in all black standing outside a French bistro. Yeah, the goths are gonna hit on you.
Oh yeah. No, not as much as I would like.
Damn.
Yeah.
Damn.
You ever frost the tips?
Yeah, when I was a kid, they had like that like kind of lemon juice adjacent spray, and I would spray that on my tips, and I would get like a big halo of blonde.
Oh my god.
Nice.
The boys at our
Classic.
high school used to bleach their hair, like on the swim team. Like that was how they bonded. And I was like, oh, you guys just look really bad now.
Yeah, swim team did a lot of weird shit in my
Yeah,
school
they did
too.
weird hair stuff, right?
Yeah, they would all grow out like mustaches.
Yeah. Or they would like shave their heads or something.
Yeah.
Like that. Yeah.
Well, I think that's just for swimming.
Well, yeah, team sports, you know, you gotta do it.
Well, swimming
Keep it
specifically.
Yeah, 'cause
streamlined.
you
I
need
know,
to-
keep it streamlined.
Not just,
yeah.
but not every team sport.
I
You
know,
need to
I
shave
know.
all your
I
body
think
hair.
I understand. Hey, the runners were head to toe shaving. They were waxing each other. You don't know that. You don't believe that?
I think we went to different schools.
I think athletes shave, don't they? Like runners and people keep it.
I don't think it's that.
Yeah, I had
Deep.
such low stakes in my high school
Yeah.
that nobody would do any of that stuff. They were just like, I'm doing pole vault because I want to do pole vault.
Oh,
and they
that's
weren't very
nice.
good at it, and
That's
it was
great.
great.
I would love to pole vault, but I just don't have the tenacity.
That looks scary.
It's scary. It's
It
so
looks
terrifying.
fun, but scary at the same time.
I can't do that with my body. Toss it over a metal pole. Are you kidding me? I would die the first time I tried that. I would just hit the ground. I know myself. I have no shame.
You gotta have more belief in yourself.
No, I absolutely don't.
No.
Yeah, the
I'll set
pole
a
is
pole,
picking
yeah.
up your energy.
It's picking
I know
up your
I have
energy.
no energy to give. Like
so
you
if
don't
you're
understand.
scared holding the pole go no.
And when I did gymnastics, we had to vault, and I did it once, and I could never do it again because it terrified me so much. Like I was like, I can't stomp on the board that hard. I don't have it in me. Like I don't have that fight in me.
What did the board do to you? Did you ever do sports?
Oh yeah, of course. I played basketball. I still play basketball.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
you're a
every
basketball guy.
almost 2 times a week if I can get my legs to work.
Okay.
Well, we're gonna go to a Lakers game.
we are going to go to a Lakers
we
game.
did decide that.
Yeah, we got plans
Yeah,
on the
at
books.
crypto.com. Is that what it's called?
Yeah,
The
crypto.com
crypto.com
arena.
arena.
The crypt.
God, that's so embarrassing.
Yeah,
Someone's gonna buy that soon, right? And change the name.
Yeah, because crypto.com lost all their money
Yeah.
in this huge crypto bust that
Yeah.
nobody could see coming.
I know. Oh, that's one of the things. It's like I could never get behind it, and now I'm really thrilled that people.
I still have some crypto.
Yeah, I know.
Crypto got me through the pandemic, to be honest.
Damn.
And I still have some, and I'm like, maybe it'll come back, but also like I could really use this money. So
I don't know. Everything's fake. All money is fake, but crypto's especially fake.
but crypto's real.
No, absolutely not. I hate it. I will never buy crypto now, even just out of spite. Like if they were like, oh, it's good, it's all good now. No, I'll never buy it. Dogecoin, you can't tell me that's a cool.
No, that was started as a joke.
Yeah, exactly. Nothing that starts as a joke is going to end up being good for your
But it
for
did
your
make
bank
people a lot
account.
of money.
Damn. And it probably lost people a lot of money.
Oh, for sure.
We're the crypto podcast now. God damn it.
Use code Moki at checkout for 3 extra crypto coins.
We should make Moki coin. Moki, you want to have some crypto? She doesn't care. She hates us.
She's not a capitalist.
Yeah. Well, we're going to go to a Lakers game and we're going to cash out using crypto and it'll be fucking fantastic.
Yeah, I don't think they take crypto anymore.
At the arena?
Yeah, absolutely
That's
not.
funny.
That's hilarious.
Once it busted, they were just like, we're not taking crypto
I love
at
that.
the registers anymore.
Oh, that is brilliant.
That's good.
Inside of crypto. It's Enron all over again. No, I don't know. I don't know enough about Enron.
Too soon. So how long you been doing
Yes.
comedy, buddy?
Back to the original question.
I started November 2012. It was right after I turned 20 years old. I'm 30
Oh,
now.
I
I've been
love
doing
that.
comedy like 10 years.
Oh, damn, we're
Nice.
same age.
Yeah, yeah. It's
Nice.
been a long struggle, and I've hated most of it. But it's given me a lot of stuff, and it's the only thing that I want to do with my life.
Yeah.
It seems
Yeah.
that I've actually found that's tangible.
Where did you try it at 20? Like what club
The
let
Comedy
you in?
Underground.
Oh, they let you in at
Yeah.
20? Nice.
Them and Jai Tai, we would have to sit in the back. It was me, Jerry
Yeah.
Todd,
Oh
our
my
good
God.
personal friend and confidant,
Nice.
Eric Lundquist, Daniel O'Connell,
Eric.
and we would all sit in the back because we
Daniel.
were not 21, and
These-
they would let
Wow.
us go on stage for 3 minutes and then come back out.
What was Eric, like 6 years old?
Eric was like, he was like,
He was young.
yeah, he was young. He was like 18 or 17.
I love Eric. Shout out to Eric.
Yeah,
Shout out to everyone. Those are good
Yeah, those are all good
names.
people.
Those are
Yeah.
all good people.
Yeah, it was all of us. I think Eric and Jerry Todd had started a little bit before me, and Daniel
Yeah.
O'Connell had started in like Sacramento.
Damn. Well, Eric, his dad used to drive him, I think.
Yeah, that's right.
To Mike's. Like he started really young.
Oh.
Yeah. And he was like, yeah, my parents were just like really supportive. And I was like, oh, I love that they like encouraged your hobbies, you know?
Yeah,
And
Eric's
yeah.
dad used to do like comedy in like the 80s.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Eric is a brilliant writer. He has this, I think it was like on, I think it was on Slackjaw or something, but he wrote this thing about like cilantro going bad in your fridge. And it's the funniest thing ever.
Yeah, he used to make me giggle all the time because
Yeah.
he has like the most absurd puns.
Yes.
Yeah.
And also he would do this impression that I can't repeat what the impression is of, but it would make me really laugh, and I hope that he knows that he still makes me laugh to this day.
Yeah.
He-
He's great.
We'll talk about it later.
Yeah.
But he had one right before he left. He told me about it, and I fucking died. It was very offensive,
Yeah. No,
but it was
it's-
also that was the joke of it.
of it being, he's
Yeah.
very smart.
Yeah,
Like,
it wasn't like these
Yeah.
fucking people suck. It was like the person doing this joke is dumb,
right. Yes.
and it was the
Yeah.
wrong offensive for the person.
Oh man, I
So
love
is that what it
kind of
was?
humor.
No, this was completely different than that.
Okay.
And it really took aim at a lot of people who are very marginalized. No, I'm just kidding. It was, but it was very funny.
Oh man. Okay.
How did you lose your voice?
at the roast and then kickball, which is so stupid. Like I'm a grown person. I don't think I've ever really lost my voice like this. Like to the point where I literally couldn't say a single word.
Who were you playing kickball with? Like a bunch of
My
7-year-olds?
roommate
Oh, okay.
has a
Bunch of old
kickball
people, so you
team.
have to scream.
It's a bunch of comics and then like a few hairstylists and like people's partners and stuff like that. But yeah, mostly comics. I think a lot of the people that go to the store actually are on the team.
Oh, great.
So,
Would
yeah, it
have
was
loved
really
to get
fun.
an invite.
Oh my
but
God. No.
Unfortunately, I am not in this social circle.
No, I was literally
Yikes.
just filling in,
Yikes.
and you know what? I was so nervous, Alex. Like I was like, "Oh my God, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna embarrass myself. I'm gonna lose us the game." You know, like I was like, "I'm gonna be so shit at kickball."
We're not going to go to regionals.
Yeah. And I went and I was pretty good, if I do say so myself. I got like to base a few times, but then every time I was about to like go to third, then we would be out and we'd have to switch in and outfield. And I was like so upset every time, and I got really into it. I'm like yelling at people. But I had a great time. Too much fun. But I love the idea of being a part of something athletic as a hobby. but I'm just too like, oh, I'm gonna suck kind of thing. You know, it's pole vaulting all over again.
Well, yeah,
pole
you
vaulting.
didn't shave your head.
Yeah.
So it's like
Yeah.
you
Gotta shave your
you weren't
head.
You
fully
gotta
into
shave your
it.
head. Yeah. But and then the person playing opposite our team was the guy who runs the podcast studio at the store.
John Sosis?
Yeah. So he was there, and then his team was like a bunch of like, some of them worked in production, some of them, you know, just like a random assortment of people. But yeah, it was fun. You can make your own league, or maybe ask Jessica to join hers because it's starting back up in January. So
Okay. I'll
would
ask
you
around.
really want to? Would you really want to join?
I'll see where my schedule is at in January.
Okay.
I love
okay.
Hollywood talk.
Yeah. I mean,
we just got a lot of big things
Yeah.
on the table right now, so just kind
I
of
got a lot of pots on the stove.
Yeah.
there you go.
Simmering away, making
Yeah.
a nice stew.
I do wonder if your schedule would allow it though, because of the store and stuff.
What time does it start?
It
What time did you
alternates
play?
Mondays and Wednesdays now. So it's like you're
That didn't
probably
answer the
working,
question.
right? I think it starts at 8 or something like that.
Oh yeah, then yeah,
Yeah.
that's pretty tough for me.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
I work nights.
Yeah. It's rough.
I work at the world famous comedy store.
Yeah.
It's the best and worst job I've ever had.
The comedy store is kind of like, that's the place to hang. That's where people go. It's this cool place. And then everybody who works the door also is a comic.
Yeah.
So it is kind of a coveted position to work there.
Yeah, it seems like a lot of people want to do it.
Yeah.
And I get DMs from people every once in a while being like, how do I get a job at the
Okay.
comedy store? And
Yeah.
it's like, prepare yourself for a nightmare of pain and misery.
Yeah.
Because it's like a lot of connections and a lot of like references. And then if like a comic who's higher up really wants somebody to work there, then they get preference and stuff like
oh,
this.
wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
usually those kinds of deals don't get made because they are, you have a certain amount of sway and pull at any job,
Okay.
and so they don't want to waste it on door people.
Right.
Yeah, or
I see.
managers or agents or sometimes they get
Yeah.
involved.
And then you
It's very
were
stupid.
saying that like you were saying this beautiful thing about how you kind of just have always felt like you wanted to build a community and like friendship with other comics. Like you like to,
Yeah, well, I mean, even like when I started, it was I was thinking about this on my drive over. Like the first person who was nice to me in comedy was Yogi Polywall.
oh,
Oh, sure.
And
Yogi.
yeah, he was at the first open mic I ever did at the Comedy
Yeah.
Underground and said some very sweet things and was like, continue to do stuff
yeah.
because you'll get better, and was very sweet. And I'm good friends with him to this day.
Nice.
I love Yogi.
That makes such a difference.
It does make you have to have some wins when you start doing
Yeah.
comedy, or else it's
Yeah.
very hard
Yeah.
to continue doing a thing that's most people don't give a fuck about.
Yeah, where most of it is bad for a really long time.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
even
Yeah.
to this day, some of it is still bad.
Yeah, no, of course. Yeah.
Yeah.
And yet here we are.
Uh-huh.
You know?
It
And
is
even-
crazy how the littlest win will like
Oh,
put the
yeah.
win back in your sails.
Yeah.
You know? It's
Keep me
like
going.
you're like on a hard nosedive down,
Yeah.
and then it's like, well, one person in the back of the room laughed at this new joke, so I'm gonna keep fucking going.
Yeah,
You're like,
yeah,
oh, I
yeah.
crushed,
Yeah,
actually.
yeah.
Yeah. But then you met a bunch of people because you kind of came here alone. Like, you didn't really know anybody, but then you started playing basketball with a bunch of people at the
This
store.
is a great setup, and you're a great interviewer. Thank you so much.
Is it? Don't.
That
don't
is
be
true.
Facetious.
No, I'm not being
Okay,
facetious.
Thank you. That's really nice.
Yeah, I was playing basketball with a couple guys who worked there, and
Yeah.
they got to know me and realized that I was kind of funny,
Yeah.
and that was very nice of them. Especially my buddy Luke Schwartz, who a lot of people don't get along with because he
Oh.
was mean for a very long time.
I love
But
that
now-
energy. Of like you're like, let me preface this.
Now he's nice.
Everyone
Yeah.
has that friend though, where
Yeah.
like you introduce them to other people, and you're like, they're kind of an asshole.
Yeah,
but
you're
like,
my asshole friend. Yeah. No,
I'll take it.
Yeah, he's a wonderful guy
Yeah.
if you actually get to know him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he sees you as somebody who is like not corny.
Who is
Right.
worthy?
Yeah.
I mean, it is funny though, because I mean, it's like this in a lot of industries, but especially entertainment. Like, it is kind of who you know and who you hang out with and stuff, and like how, I think also it's great that a lot of it is like if people find you funny, but like in LA, there's not that much stage time. So it is sometimes just like if you're funny at the hangout. Like,
yeah,
you
you have
know?
to be a good hang.
You have
Yeah.
to be a good hang.
That's
yeah.
even how some people get booked with headliners too.
Oh,
They're like,
yeah.
who can I stand being around
Yeah.
for hours and weeks and months at a time on the road?
100%.
So it's like, yeah, you're funny,
Mm-hmm.
but more importantly, you're not going to drive me insane. So
yeah,
Yeah.
and you're not going to be a downer when we
Yeah.
have to be on the road together.
Right.
Or yeah, and you can kind of read the other person.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then I got the job because kind of Luke hooked it up, and I got a nice spot on potluck. And then Adam Egan
Yeah.
saw me in the back. He was laughing when I was having a decent set,
Nice.
and I like came up to him and was like, "Hey, thanks for laughing at my jokes." And then he asked if I wanted to be a door guy,
Oh,
like
wow.
in that moment.
You-
Oh, wow.
Whoa. Oh, I always thought it was like, give us a little insight on this, because I always thought it was like maybe they invite you to audition to be do a
well,
potluck,
it's-
and as a and then that night everyone who's going up is auditioning to be a door guy. Is that not what it is?
They have people who they're looking at for the club.
Okay.
Like every club has kind of regulars.
Yeah.
At the Comedy Store, it's like a tiered system. So you have paid regulars, and even within then, like that echelon of people, there's like, people who are famous and people who sell tickets,
Yeah.
and a massive amount of tickets at that. And then there are people who the club likes and books a lot, and then there are people who do late night, and that's their only spot.
Okay.
Because they're like too dirty or off-putting or whatever. And maybe not off-putting, but like they have a certain aesthetic that
More divisive.
is very divisive.
Yeah.
And then there are like friends and family, which the club is like looking at, that are kind of in the system.
Yeah.
And then there are people who the club just kind of knows about, who they want to get in the system.
Oh man.
And that's more of like, the booker knows comedy and has been around for a long time. Like she went to the first sleepwalk with me that Mark Birbiglia ever
Wow.
did.
Oh, wow.
my
Yeah.
gosh.
So she's been around comedy and has been booking comedy for a long time. So she kind of knows what plays and what doesn't play,
Yeah.
and has like a good aesthetic for comedy. But there are a lot of people who are like, have been doing comedy a long time in LA who just haven't hung out there, or they just don't know about, so they don't give them as much shine as.
Yeah.
It's also one of those places where it's like you have to hang out there to be a part of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got to pay your dues in some way, and just like hanging out and meeting people
yeah.
and showing that you actually like being there.
And for
is
a
one of
long
them.
time.
Yeah, and I was even talking to somebody about this. There's like this headliner that wants to come in, but all he does is just complain about how the club won't book him. And if that is your
Ooh.
energy coming into every interaction, you're not going to get booked there, because people can read that you're frustrated. And who
Right.
wants to be around somebody who's frustrated? Because then you're just going to be frustrated with bookings down the road
Mm-hmm.
and saying that they don't pay attention enough to me.
Yeah.
Because like, what's that ego all about? I get that you've done
Yeah.
a lot of stuff in comedy, but nobody wants to be around somebody
Yeah.
like that.
And they don't have to pay attention to you. Like there's so many
Yeah, absolutely not.
like every night you're there, someone's dropping in. Like they don't need
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
That's
you
the thing
know?
about there. It's like it's so big. There's so many people that come
Yeah.
through there. There's 3 rooms and they all do different shows. So it's like there's so many people that, it's not like another club in a smaller city where it's like,
Right.
well, we're the club, but we're kind of keeping our finger on the local pulse. It's like I can just see that they're probably just like, yeah, we don't have the energy to go out and look at, go to other shows and be like, who's popping here? Who's
Yeah.
popping there? It's like we just got to focus on us.
And I mean, they're selling like when I first started, we had like the Rogan, Crystalia. What happened to those guys? But
I haven't really seen them around
yeah, I
much.
haven't seen
That's
them around as
wild.
much
Yeah.
as they used to. But they had those guys that they would sell out like 2 shows a night, even like Tuesdays. They would
Damn.
sell out
Yeah.
2
Main
shows a
room
night, main
sold
room.
out?
Yeah,
Dang.
and it was more people because it was like less restrictions on how many people you could have.
Yeah.
The fire department came in and was like, this is too many people. And so he
Ooh.
had to limit the seating. But it would be like 360 people crammed into a room to see Dalia, and the worst people I've ever met. A lot of, you remember when Pharrell hats were like a big thing? Yeah.
Wait, which one?
Quite literally a big thing.
Wow, big thing.
The wide brim
Okay.
ones or the side
The like
cap?
huge,
Yeah.
like
The
Dudley
Dale
Do-Right.
Dimmadomes.
The Dimmadomes.
Yeah, the Dimmadomes. Yeah, that Dimmadome hat. A lot of those. A lot of horrible Instagram celebrities coming through.
Yeah.
The most egotistical people I've ever seen. A nightmare group
Isn't
of
that
the horrible
so
people.
wild? Like I was kind of like I don't know, there's some headliners that I'm just like, you see the crowd that they pull. I'm thinking of someone specific, but I don't want to talk shit right now. But there's always
That's
this
literally
one.
what this podcast is
I
for.
know, but there's this one headliner and everyone's like, oh, like he gets the most gorgeous audience ever, but he's such a dick, and like all his audience members are like just talk over you, and they're not friendly and they're not nice, and like yeah, everyone there is super hot, but like it's not fun.
Well, I worked at Jazz Alley in Seattle. You ever heard of it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Have you actually?
staple.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, but it's the same with music. I mean, obviously it's the same with music,
Yeah.
but even like with that, there would be some shows where we're like, all right, this is the type of crowd that this person brings in,
Right,
and
just
then
rowdy,
or
like
just
you know,
weird.
like Burt Kreischer's audience, everyone knows what that kind of audience is
Yeah.
going to be.
Yeah.
You know, like once you're that big of a name, you just pull a certain type of crowd. And
Yeah.
sometimes that's great, and sometimes it's not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I like most audiences. They're usually very nice.
Yeah.
They had what's the guy's name? Adam
Divine.
no.
Corolla.
Adam Ray. Adam Ray had like a Ray and Friends.
Yeah.
A very nice guy from Seattle also.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But all of his audience was the sweetest people ever.
Really?
Yeah, because they like character stuff and like
Nice.
funny gags, and so it was like automatically just like a lot of people who I like because that's my comedy
Yeah.
aesthetic.
Yeah.
But yeah, some of the audience gets to be real shitbags.
Yeah.
If it's all clout, then you get a lot of clout chasers, and it can be just nightmarish.
Yeah, I think the Instagram celebrity thing is always so funny. Like, it's just so bizarre to see those people in real life because you're like, I don't know who you are, but you look kind of familiar. Like,
Yeah,
yeah.
and also I don't know what your talent is.
Yeah, they don't have them.
No,
They don't have them.
They don't have
Yeah.
talent.
Yeah.
The new goal is to just be a content creator, and it's
I
like,
love
oh, okay,
content.
so what kind of like, what do you do? Oh, I just make content.
Yep.
I just make videos.
God, if
Whatever
I was
the trend
hot,
is.
I'd be a content creator too. No, I would want you'd want to have something. I feel like that's such a
Yeah.
sad existence to not
Yeah,
have
you're just
a
constantly
passion.
chasing whatever
Yeah, it's
everyone else is
sad.
doing.
Yeah, it's hard for me to look at those people sometimes.
Because they're so hot.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so interesting. Are we gonna hear any comedy store stories today?
About what?
What are your wildest stories you were gonna share?
Let's get
Oh,
raw.
do you want to hear about?
unplugged.
Well, I'll tell you a couple things.
Okay.
And do you want to know the first person who was mean to me in comedy?
Oh
Yes.
yes.
Yeah, James Milton. Do you remember
Oh.
him?
Checks out.
Yeah.
I've heard this name, but I've never met him.
I always thought he was funny,
Is
but-
that true?
but
I'd like
Jesus.
to dive into this.
I don't like that
What's the
stance.
psychological?
but that he was
appeal
also
of
around
this?
when I first moved to Seattle,
Uh-huh.
so I didn't really know anyone. I
Yeah.
didn't know like shit about him, but he would always go up, and I mean, obviously he would be kind of unhinged, but
Yeah.
like he was just
I
also.
mean, obviously.
Well, I mean,
he's an unhinged man.
Yeah.
yeah, but if you like look, my thing was I would look at like, okay, this is kind of the Seattle comedy landscape. It's like everyone's kind of doing this thing, and he's just like, you fucking guys are so annoying.
Did
and
he
then
run
he'd,
the
like,
underground for a while? Or?
Yeah,
No.
he managed it.
he
for
made-
a
managed
well,
little
then he
bit.
was banned for a long time.
Yeah, he was banned for a long
because he
time.
would sneak in beers.
Oh,
That was also a thing
God.
that I liked because he'd go on stage and you just have a tall boy of something, and I'm like,
Where'd you get
they
that?
don't. Do they sell those here? Because I also wanted to drink, so I was like, I want one of those. I don't want to pay fucking $12
boy.
for whatever bullshit they have.
Yeah, I never
Oh,
met
yeah.
him. I never met him.
That's good. One time I was in a circle and I was like 19 years old or 20 years old or whatever.
Yeah.
And I was just like kind of talking to a bunch of people. And then I like looked at James and he said, "Don't look at me. I hate when you look at me." And I said,
What?
I hate this man from this point on. Yeah, it was the most off-putting thing
That's
anybody has
a
ever.
crazy thing to say to someone.
fair.
It was the most off-putting thing.
No, I mean it's fair. I mean it's fair to be like, I hate this person.
Yeah.
Like instantly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is unhinged.
Because not a lot of people do that. Not a lot of people will be like, fuck this person from the jump. They'll just
Oh,
be like, oh, and then like maybe try to like get on their good side. But
I have
they're-
parents that love me. And
Okay,
so
that-
the most,
that helps.
when anybody is like, you're like weird or you're off-putting or whatever,
Yeah.
I'm just like, I don't need this
But
in my life. I got people who I care about. And also I have a lot of people in comedy who I like.
Yeah.
And so it's like, one of these things.
what an insane thing to say. Just walk away. Like, I don't know. I think that's so aggressive.
Yeah. Well,
to
he's
say to someone.
he's a man with a lot of PTSD.
Okay.
And is going through a lot of stuff internally. So I got no hatred for James Milne now, I guess. I haven't spoken to him.
We're gonna reach out. He's the next guest.
He's
Well,
the next guest.
actually, coming down the
yeah,
stairs.
we got James coming in. Yeah. Oh man. Yeah. That's so. Oh God. I love that you shared the person who was the nicest to you, and then also the meanest, because I feel like you don't forget those things.
Yeah. And there were a lot of people who were good when I started. It was
Yeah.
like Albert Kirchner, Brendan,
Schaub.
yeah, Brendan Schaub.
But yeah, I love him.
I love him. And this is really
Yeah.
perturbing me that I can't remember his name. And then my roommate right now, Ryan Casey.
Oh, Ryan.
Oh, nice.
And,
Yeah.
Yeah, Tyler Schnupp,
Oh
Travis
God.
Watt.
Tyler's so funny.
Yeah, a lot
Yeah.
of good people were in the scene. Milan was just starting.
Nice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
a lot of great people in the scene.
Yeah. You kind of started.
Oh, Aaron Engel.
Oh my God.
Yeah, the
Classic.
savior of LA or of Seattle comedy.
Yeah. Shout out Aaron Engel.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Man, you started with so many good people.
Yeah, there were a lot of fun, talented people in Seattle at the time.
Yeah. Seattle comedy kind of precious back then, I feel like.
Scratch Deli was still around.
Scratch
Yeah.
Deli was still
That was
around.
always
Yeah,
fun.
Chai Tai was still around. I'm gonna get those dragons tattooed on my back.
Oh my God. No.
With the gong?
Oh, yeah, with the gong.
Get
Yeah,
the gong as
right
the
there.
tramp stamp. Yeah.
Oh, that's a good idea. Gong as a tramp stamp. I love that.
Let's all do it. Let's all make a pact right now.
Oh,
if we're not
man.
married in 5 years,
And we'll all get
all
gong
get that
tattoos.
tattoo.
Tattoo. Yeah.
And then we how do we high five? We have the
We just
gongs
touch backs.
kiss. Yeah. That's what I'm here for.
Damn, that's crazy.
Wait, who was the nicest person to you when you first started? No one.
David Tyler.
Oh,
I
I
love
don't really
David.
know David.
He's a very nice guy.
He's a great guy.
Nice.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah, I remember showing up to Jai Tai. It was right after Meredith Flanders died, and they were doing like a memorial thing, and I like showed up, and I don't think I realized what it was. Otherwise, I wouldn't have gone because I didn't know.
Rest in
her.
peace.
But I was also still very new to the scene, and so I
Yeah.
showed up and was just like, "Oh shit!" And then was just kind of like, like I'm here, but also like this is all you guys. So like you
Yeah.
have at it. And he was just like, "Come here, buddy." Like gave me a huge
Oh,
hug, and I was just
sweetie.
like, "Oh."
Sweetie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about you?
Alyssa. Alyssa
Oh, okay.
Yeoman.
Yeah.
100%. I think I shared this when Alyssa was on the pod, but like Alyssa was like the first person to like invite me to hang out and was like, "Oh, like great set," and also Natalie was so supportive of Natalie Holt.
She's
With-
very funny too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and also just like Natalie would do this thing where she'd be like, "Hey, if anyone like I get nervous going to mics, if anyone wants to go to this or you've never been, like you can sit with me." And that was like huge for me cuz I was like, "Oh man, I feel so intimidated and so awkward." But yeah, you need those people. Like I feel like I notice like a lot of newer comics will like do that to me now where they're just like, "Hey, can I ask you a question or something?" It's like I always try to be super nice because I remember how nervous I was when I started, and you just don't know anything and you learn by watching other people. So I'm like, "Oh man, you got the gumption to ask a question." Like, I'm
Yeah.
going to be nice to people like instead of being like, "I don't like your face."
Yeah, this gets into my person who is famous, who is the meanest to me
Oh,
story.
please, I can't wait. right.
There was a man, and I'll tell you what he did to me,
Okay.
or I'll tell you who he is in a second through context
Yeah.
clues.
Okay.
Because I'm not going to say his name.
I love that.
But he was in a show about fantasy football.
Okay.
And I came up to the Comedy Store, and I just moved to LA. I think I was like 21 or 22 or something like that. And I came up to him because he was just standing on the patio, and I really liked him. And I was like, hey, do you have any advice for some young comics? And I was holding my notebook, and I was all giddy. And he goes, yeah, give me 1 second. I got to talk to these old comics over here. And didn't return, didn't make eye contact with me the whole night. I really got shown up in that moment. And that man later lied about being in 9/11.
I was gonna ask.
Yeah.
Yep. I was like, it could be one of two people.
Uh-huh.
No way.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's adorable that you went up to him with a notebook. that was a move.
That's
for
so
sure.
fun. I thought he was gonna say, yeah, pretend that you were in 9/11.
I hope you see him again and be like, hey, I just wanted to interview a former veteran.
Yeah. But
So many people lied about 9/11.
Yeah, that it happened.
yeah. Jet fuel doesn't melt steel beams. We all know that.
Yeah.
No, it's like, and it's a staggering thing. A lot of people lied about Bosnia too. Do you remember when that came out? Oh.
Who lied about?
Sorry.
Who did Ellen lie about being in Bosnia?
Ellen lied about being in Bosnia for sure. Could you imagine?
And I just got back,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
it's a war zone over there.
Yeah.
Or like, people lie about war stories all the time. Like it's a condition. Like it's insane.
Yeah, I was actually in Yugoslavia when they turned into two countries. I said that this
7.
shouldn't happen, but
7,
hey,
I think.
go off.
I was the only one saying I don't think we should do this,
I don't think we
but
should do this. you
Guys, we
know?
got to make peace.
Yeah.
yeah.
I was yelling that.
You invented the Dayton Peace Accord. That's
That's right. But I've also had people who have been very nice. I like went and saw a movie, and Bo
Yeah.
Burnham was watching the same movie.
Oh, wow.
And I
I
still love him to this day. And I was like, hey, I really like what you do. I like you. Like a bunch of bananas, more than a bunch of bananas. And he said a bunch of bananas. And I said, yeah, I'm very nervous. I'm sorry. And he thought that was very nice. And then he invited me to sit with him, but I was so like young and terrified.
He invited you to sit with
Yeah,
him?
in the movie. But I was like, he was like, "Oh," and I was like, I don't want to.
wow.
Because
Was he
I was
alone?
just like, no, he was
Wow.
with his girlfriend and I think a friend.
That's so nice of him.
But I was watching that David Foster Wallace movie that A24
nice.
pulled out.
Yeah.
And then, but yeah, he was a very cordial guy.
Yeah.
Still love him.
Yeah.
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 And he does do good comedy.
Oh yeah, I love everything he makes.
Do you guys have like a stock line for if you meet someone that you really like?
No, there is this running thing though of like 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 I think it's really nice to give someone a specific compliment, but like I think that the funniest way to do it is like do something that no one else has seen, like their biggest flop. Like,
Have we
right?
talked about this?
I think we have.
Because I've thought about doing that specifically
Yeah.
when I was doing the older kids podcast.
Yes.
And we would rewatch these kids movies from like the 90s and the 80s
Yeah.
and shit like that. And you would see all these people from
Yeah.
like when they were first starting out, specifically Tony Shalhoub in Spy Kids.
Oh
And, I
my
mean, it wasn't when he
He's
was
good
first.
at Spy
It wasn't when he
He's
was first
so
starting
good.
out, but it's like
Yeah.
you forget. And so I thought about like, man, if I ever saw him, I'd be like, wow, I'm a huge fan. I love Spy Kids.
Well, I kind of did this to David Cross because I went to watch him do his new material, and at the end they had a Q&A. And, everyone's asking him, like, obviously the stuff that he's been most popular in.
Small
And
Soldiers.
my favorite movie is She's the Man.
Yeah.
And if you don't remember, he plays the principal in that movie. And so my question was like, hey, David, what was it like working with Amanda Bynes and She's the Man? And he goes, she's the man. I think he was like so taken aback that anyone remembered the movie from 2006.
Wow.
And I was just like, yeah, I just wanted to check in, But yeah, I love that. I love when it's like we're oddly specific.
so that's your go-to is just
No, I mean,
very
I think
specific.
I think it's nice to give a direct compliment, don't
Yeah.
you? Like, I think that's the way to do it instead of being like, "Oh, I'm such a huge fan." Like, like it's like a compliment when you like say something about something someone's created.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you have one?
No, I just go off vibes, and if I'm in the mood to actually give a compliment, because sometimes
yeah.
I'm just also. I mean, the best and worst thing about being at the store is sometimes I'll see somebody who I genuinely like, and I'll go up to them and be like, "Hey, you're like." I saw Tony Hawk, and I was like, "I had a birdhouse deck when I was a kid,"
Oh my
wow.
god.
and he was like, "Hell yeah, dude!" And I was like,
that's
"Tony Hawk
so
fucking
nice.
rips."
That's
Nice.
awesome.
Yeah,
That he's the nicest guy.
yeah. I met
Really
this
good
other.
documentary on him
Oh,
on
really?
HBO.
Nice.
On
Yeah.
HBO, it's great. And there's this other, because I was big into skateboarding, and so like I met Stefan Janowski, whose shoes I'm wearing right now, and I was
He's
like,
gonna compliment you.
yeah, I have a pair of your shoes in my car right now, and he was like, oh, that's pretty sweet, and they talked to me for like 5 minutes.
Oh,
Nice.
that's
He's like
sweet.
good friends with Eliza Schlesinger.
Yeah. So you don't use the bananas line every time.
No, I don't use the bananas line
Bunch-
every
I'm gonna
time.
use that.
boy, I love you
Yeah.
more
Yeah,
than
yeah,
a bunch of bananas.
Any other
I think I said it a
meanies?
little bit differently.
You think, or you're trying to recreate
A
this?
bushel of
a
bananas.
bushel of
Trauma.
bananas.
Yeah.
No, I think I said I like a whole bunch,
Yeah.
and then yeah.
What do you have any like crazy good stories? Not necessarily tied to the store, but just from your life in comedy.
Yeah, I mean, most of the stuff that I've gotten is just because people were like super nice to me, I guess. I think that's, the way to everybody's heart is just to be courteous.
Yeah.
But yeah, Bobby Lee invited me to host for him one weekend, and I got that because he just liked my sweater. And I was a nice guy to him after that.
That seems very
Nice.
Bobby Lee.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was, and then he asked people about me and was like, is this guy funny?
Yeah.
And a lot of people said yes, so
Nice.
he invited me out.
I love that.
Yeah, it's been like a very nice thing. And then
And what sweater were you wearing, just so I know?
it was a green sweater, skeleton on the back.
Noted.
Yeah.
Noted.
If you want to buy one, I'll send you the link.
Hell yeah.
I thought you were gonna say I'll sell you the sweater.
What if we all started wearing matching outfits to the store every Monday? That'd be great.
Well, I think we should ease into it with the back tats.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's
you're
not go
right.
overboard.
No,
The
let's not
giant
go
Fully
tight
crazy.
commit
jeans.
to an outfit,
Yeah.
a
Yeah.
wardrobe.
That outfits cost so much money, and the back tat is like 50.
Yeah, that's
50
just my
Yeah,
whole
I know
life.
a guy that
Yeah.
can do it.
Yeah.
$53.
Yeah.
You do
Flat.
die on the table, but it's worth it.
Flat. Yeah. Yeah. The antibiotics will cost you more, but
Yeah.
the tats forever.
Have you seen that? Like, there's this video of a guy like getting sepsis because of a tattoo. It's the most disgusting thing I've ever seen, and
I'll
I
watch
regret bringing it up.
I
But I'll
will
send you
watch
the
it.
link.
No, please do, because I love gross stuff like that.
Well, are you into this like pimple popping stuff?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I love the pimple popping. I love the earwax excavation.
Oh, I like an earwax excavation. Yeah.
I'll watch it all. I'll do it.
I like a guy that like he has like very old ears. He's clearly like 70 years old, and he hasn't taken good care of himself, and he gets the earwax extracted, and then he shakes his head like a dog.
Oh, that's hilarious.
That's good. That's good shit.
That's good.
No, I don't watch that shit. I strictly stick to the Facebook beheading videos.
Oh yeah, those are good.
Back
those
in the
are,
glory days,
the
2014, baby.
The production's really gone up on them.
2014, and they're putting the camera on a tripod. There's no shaking.
I would love to be a PA on a beheading video.
Okay, can we get quiet on set, please? They're gonna go through the spinal column. Quiet
Yeah.
on set.
Speed on sound.
Can we get someone to clap, please, so we can sync this later? Thank you.
Oh god, that was so dark. I'm sorry, guys. Alex is
Did you ever watch
horrified.
one of those?
No, I love
No.
it.
Did you ever watch them?
Oh, absolutely.
No. You don't.
don't
watch,
remember
that's
that?
So no, I remember him. I thought it was disrespectful to watch.
Well, I would watch them because I'm like, there's no way this is what it's gonna be, and then it fucking happens, and you're like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Why is
Yeah.
this on Facebook?
Like, oh, it's on Facebook. I watched like a lot of live leak
no,
stuff.
no. 2014, there was like 2013, 2014. There was like something with Facebook where people they wouldn't censor it right away, so
Yeah.
it would like get out. And me and my friend Joe, shout out April, we watched it one night. We were sitting on my fucking futon about to go to the bar, and we were like watching it, and we're literally just like, It's Facebook.
And you're like, margarita
We're
time.
like, it's going to cut. It's going to cut right before. We're like, there's no way. Then fucking sure enough, chainsaw hit the jugular, and we're like, what the fuck? And then we went to the bar and sat in silence for like a half an hour. We literally sat there just like staring off. Like, what the fuck did we just
brutal
watch?
stuff.
Yeah, I can't. The body cam thing when that guy shot all those people too. I remember that was going around. I didn't watch it. I felt that's too.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's a little too real for me.
Yeah. Well, it was all, we were also sitting in silence because we were like, why didn't we just stop?
Well,
Like at any point we
yeah.
could have just put the phone down and walked away.
Yeah.
But you know,
It's easier to get a beheading job than get a job at the store. That's how I
That
feel
is true.
about
That's very true.
well, you would think, but you got to audition. They
Yeah,
got to
you
see your
I
work.
gotta see your work.
They got to say
How many beheadings have you
how
done
many
before?
references do you have?
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of reference space. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
God. Any other crazy stories to share?
I'm trying to think
You
of.
don't have to.
I think we're getting close on time.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of something. I use a lot of my stories that aren't like current stuff that I have going on right now.
Yeah. That's fine.
Yeah.
I love that.
Do you guys want to finish off with the crazy story of the week?
Ooh, yeah.
Do you guys have a crazy story of the week?
I lost my voice, and I think that's enough. But no, let me think. Did we have something crazy happen this week? I mean, the Bert Kreischer roast was.
Yeah, that was pretty wild.
It was insane.
I took a video. I have a screenshot of well, in the video I specifically made sure to get Kesha, Bert, and then panned over to Miranda Cosgrove. And then Jim Norton is right behind her, just like
It's
clapping
hilarious.
along. And
It's
I think it's the
incredible.
funniest thing in the world.
Oh my God.
That's a good collection of people.
Yeah, because it's like
Yeah.
just, and then I have a screenshot of just Miranda like kind of smiling politely, and Jim Norton's
Yeah.
just like
behind
like,
her, directly behind
in what
her.
world would you expect those two to be together ever?
Yes,
Absolutely
ever.
no
They're getting
world
married
at
next
all.
week.
That's wonderful for Jim.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And horrible for Miranda.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it was a lot of fun, but I mean, you were there for the first.
I was there for a
part
little
of
bit,
it,
and I
yeah.
saw a video of Miranda dancing, and she has a lot of repressed internal conflict, and you can see it in the dance.
It's so sweet.
It's
though.
so
She's
sweet,
So
yeah.
sweet. I bet she's the nicest gal. But it was like, so they were like the whole night. They were like, "There's a bunch of surprises. There's a bunch of surprises," and I'm sitting there like, "All right, like you know, I bet it's gonna be like Tom Segura comes out or something, you know, like because they kept hinting that he wasn't there or something, and then all of a sudden, the show just goes off the rails and there's a wedding vow renewal happening somehow, and then Elliott and I are kind of like, what's going on
Between Bert and Josh Potter dressed up in
Yeah.
a wedding dress, who was supposed to also be Bert.
yeah, and then
It really made no sense.
and then Whitney takes over hosting for Trevor. And then they're like, okay, Bert, do your set. And he's so hammered. And he's
Yeah.
like, no,
Yeah.
I can't do this right now.
All the New York comics crushed though.
Yeah.
Big
That's
J,
what I heard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jim Norton and Rachel
Yeah.
Feinstein.
Feinstein.
And
Yeah.
then they're just like, all right, bring out Kesha. So we're like, oh, like really? And so Kesha does like 4 numbers.
Which after the first one or after the second one, I think Whitney is like, "Don't play it. We can't get the rights to this. Don't play it.
Yeah.
Don't play it." And then they play it, and she's just like,
All right.
and then they play another song. And she's like, "Well, I can't clear this." So,
Well,
and she like
then-
looked at
then it was
Kesha. She
just-
was like, "I don't. Can
Yeah.
you help?" And she's like, "I don't know."
Well, then it was just like, let's just have fun,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
which
yeah.
was cool.
Yeah.
And then they're like, all right, I guess Miranda Cosgrove's here too because I don't know why they brought her out.
Because Kesha was
Oh,
like the number
yes.
one sound on TikTok, and then Whitney and Miranda Cosgrove became the number one sound.
Yeah. And so Miranda was there, and it was just so. I was like, this is unbelievable. And then everyone's dressed in white trash. That was the theme of the night. And I mean, people really
They
went
leaned
with
into
the
it.
theme. They did a good job.
Yeah.
They did a good job.
I was wearing a wife beater.
Yeah, I saw you.
Yeah.
I saw you. in
Yeah, that
there.
nice white jacket.
I
too.
got a nice
yeah,
white
the
jacket.
jacket was pristine.
Yeah.
By the way, that was a brave choice.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Well, that's why I had to get out of there early,
Yeah.
because I had to protect the jacket at all costs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was your crazy thing? If it wasn't that, because that was basically our week.
I can't talk about it on the podcast because it's too inside baseball, and also Yeah, it's too inside baseball.
Okay.
But there was a kooky thing that happened between two people who got into a fight.
Fist fight?
A fist fight.
Oh.
Oh, I will tell you this. Because people are crazy, especially at like the comedy store and the nightclub in general. But, and this was like years ago, and it may not have happened. And for legal purposes, this didn't happen.
Okay.
But it did.
But if it did, I also wasn't there.
Yeah.
I wasn't there. There's this guy who works there now, and he used to be a security guard, and now he does something different.
Yes.
And there was this guy causing a commotion in the original room, so he had to take him out. And I just see him and this dude. He has him in a chokehold, and they're flying down the stairs backwards from the OR into the hallway. And
God.
and he has him in a chokehold, and he's slowly squeezing him out because he's just being he's a big guy, and he's being like, he's waving his arms, he's flailing all around. And the guy who I work with goes, "Call the cops." And I go, "Okay." And then he goes, "Actually, don't call the cops. I'm going to take care of this." And then he lifts him up by his neck and just takes him out. And that didn't happen, except if you want to believe it.
Oh, how do you guys train for this job?
There is no training.
Really?
There's no training at all.
Wait, you're lying.
No,
I can
there's
believe that.
there's you have to get
active
it.
shooter training. I've heard
There's
the jokes.
active shooter training.
Yeah.
That's true. They want everybody down to make sure they don't have a gun or a knife.
Mm-hmm.
And the security have to get like security badges, which is like a program that you do for like 2 hours in a warehouse in the South Bay.
Oh, damn. Okay, so you're just on the fly. But you guys get to wear earpieces. That's fun.
Yeah, we do get to wear
Yeah.
earpieces.
Yeah, that is very fun. I do love that. It's very Nordstrom Rack.
Oh, yeah. If
Well-
you need a nice sweater,
Yeah.
we got you covered.
Yeah.
If you need to find your seats in the OR or
Yeah.
a nice pair of Dockers.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Some khakis that make you look like $1 million.
Ooh, baby. Business cash for life. Do you want to leave us with a sweet piece of advice for our listeners?
Yeah, of course. I would love to do nothing more.
I love that.
Is it this camera?
Oh, yeah. Look,
you.
you can pan direct to camera. I love that.
Great. Make friends with Sean Cliver, who is the host of Hot Ones. Get on that show, blow up, create a TikTok account, make mindless, idiot-inducing content. No, if you're starting out in comedy, I would say watch a lot of comedy. Make sure you know what you're trying to be. Do it a lot because that's how you figure out who you want to be, is by doing a lot of stuff that you don't like.
That's very true.
Go places where you feel accepted. That's important. Create a community and reach out to people if they're welcoming of you. If they're not welcoming of you, you won't get a lot of traction.
Yeah.
And it's very hard.
You don't need
and you'll find a brick wall in front of you every place you go. Be cool. Be nice. Love God. Love the devil.
Oh,
Inshallah.
a twist. Inshallah.
Inshallah.
Oh my God. Thank you so much, Alex.
I think that's a bunch of comedy advice.
No, that was excellent. I think honestly, the first thing you said, watch a lot of comedy. Don't stop even when you get a few years in. I feel we've talked about this.
Yeah.
but
Even
like,
go back into the recesses of comedy, because that's where the good stuff is.
and of what
usually.
made you fall in love with it.
Yeah.
But yeah, excellent. Where can the people find you?
I am at Alex Hanna _good on Instagram and Twitter. I love to tweet.
Ugh.
I love to post a pic that I don't like because I have an extreme amount of body dysmorphia.
That's another podcast.
One that would
episode.
break a frailer man,
Don't we all?
But not a big dog.
but not a big dog.
Not a big dog.
I got a podcast called the Big Dog Lakers Pod with my buddy Ryan and
Hell
my
yeah.
other buddy Kevin, and we
Hell
do a
yeah.
great job. If you love the Lakers,
Ugh.
tune in. And you can see me at the Comedy Store like 3 times a week.
We love to hear it.
Yeah. What do you guys got going on?
Elliott, let us know.
Well, you can find me on all social media platforms at Grentradish, GRENTRADDISH. ElliottGB.com for upcoming dates.
Where does the handle come from?
Oh boy.
Have you talked about this before? Because I don't want to be.
Not on the pod.
No, yes, once. No, maybe
No, not
that
on
was
the pod.
off after recording.
So basically, long story short, worked in a kitchen. We would get bored and come up with like games. Or not even like necessarily, but kind of games. So like one of them was like, what's your aquatic themed wrestler name? And so it was like Shark McGuire.
Oh, that's good.
Mine was
I like
Porpoise
that.
Christie,
Yeah.
which is actually my gamer tag on
Wait.
PlayStation.
There's 3 Entundras in there. I'm obsessed.
And Dolphin Lundgren was another one.
That's good.
So we would just like think about this shit during, and then we started doing what are names that are weird but close to actual names. So instead of Brent, it's Grant. So like you hear it and you're like, oh, Brent, and they're like, no, Grant, and you're like, oh, okay. Burtis was one.
Burtis.
I have a list of them in my phone somewhere.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we just come up with names like that, and then I just added Radish. But I also spelled it wrong, which I didn't realize until like 6 months ago. I put 2 D's and Radish only has 1. I wasn't a big Radish fan at the time.
You know, they're
There's-
underappreciated.
Yeah.
they have no flavor. I expect to have like
Yeah.
a little. They got a lot of crunch.
They're a nice garnish.
Yeah, I
For
like the
sure.
texture.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hate water chestnuts though.
Oh, I love
Hate what-
water
they're too scratchy.
It depends on what they're in.
No,
if it's
you
like a
know
soup.
what?
Have
Do you ever
tried
have them
it in a
wrapped in
soup?
bacon?
No,
That's a big Midwest thing.
I don't like a. I need something for it to float in, so it loses some of the like, what's it called?
Gristle.
Gristle. Yeah.
Mm. Have you had Italian chestnuts? Just like chestnuts roasted on an open fire? That's the stuff.
Don't
That's my mom's
say
favorite.
lyrics at me.
No,
right
my
now.
mom loves chestnuts.
You
It's-
love
this is real.
Christmas.
I do. I'm not a Christian, but I do love it. And I'll be the first to say it. I love a holiday. I love Halloween. I love all the holidays. It's fun. Why not?
Live a little.
You live a little.
It's a Tuesday.
You know? Oh, man. Okay, well, on that note,
Where
I'll
can
give
people find
mine.
you?
I'm just at Ariana Ramic on everything. Easy.
You're at Rihanna Ramic.
Ariana.
You've been introducing yourself as Rihanna recently.
Yeah. You know what? I did once joke about changing my name to Rihanna, like putting an A in front of Rihanna's name.
And then she sued you.
Yeah.
Big
This
suit.
is true. But it would be great. I love
Yeah.
Rihanna. I think she's fantastic.
What about ASAP Rocky?
Great. He's fun.
They both came to the Comedy Store one day, and they were very cordial. They were the nicest people in the
Really?
world. Yeah.
Rihanna was nice.
Rihanna was super nice
Oh
because
my
everybody
God.
on the staff loves her.
Does she float? Like I bet she smells so good.
No, she walks like a regular person, and you have to stop deifying celebrities.
I know, but I bet that she smells really
I have heard
nice.
she smells really good.
She does smell really nice.
Yeah.
Yes, she wears Killian, just in case you're wondering what perfume. But
Green sweater, Killian.
yeah, oh my God, this is a master
I'm gonna
plan.
open for Bobby Lee. I'm
Yeah.
gonna open for Rihanna.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I should open for Rihanna. Could
All
you
right,
imagine?
that's been the pod. Thank you so much for watching, for tuning in, for listening. Make sure to subscribe, follow, tell your friends.
Bye.
Inshallah, have a good day.
Bye bye.